Hello everyone, welcome to SAP Technomaniac. In this video, we will discuss about window expression. Let's get started. For explaining window expression, I have written simple select query. So you might already known this select query from my previous videos. I already used group by and the aggregation statements in a lot of other videos. So what we are doing in this one, we are getting the data from the sales order table, and in the output for particular customer, how many sales orders for this particular customers are available in the database, and what is the total net amount for this particular all the sales order that I am displaying in the output. So that is the reason I summed up the net price. I counted the sales order for this particular customer. Since I have used group by customer and currency, if there are different currencies, there will be different line, but most of the time for same customer we use same currency, so there will be one line in the output. Let me do F9. So you can see for this customer what is the net amount, what is the count of sales order. For this customer, what is the net amount means total amount, and how many sales orders created for this particular customer, like that we are displaying. This is one thing. Now what I want to, the requirement is not like that. I want to display obviously the count of sales order and the total amount, but this is the last two fields. But before that I want to display the sales order informations, like I want to display some of the data from header table, line item table, or some other detail. So for that I have to write that query separately, because if I use sales order here, I want to get the sales order number from here along with this data. So I have to write VBLN here. If as soon as I write VBLN is SO here, so what will happen, as soon as I write like this, it will ask this to add in the group by. It will ask me to add in group by. So let me comma add this also, and as soon as I add this particular field in group by, I will not get result the grouping is per my requirement. It will be not grouped by the customer ID. But if I do, let me show you the result, what kind of result I will get. Control F3, there will be different sales order, because we grouped by sales order, customer and currency combination. So the sales order number is different, this will come in different group. So for ultimately what I want to say, for each sales order there will be one line. Even the customer is same or not, it does not matter. Let me do F9. Let me clear out the console. Let me do F9. But I don't want like this. Everywhere is count is 1, and the same if I display the net price separately or using the summation, the both are the similar. Okay, so there is no use doing like this, but I want like that along with this customer ID, what customer I am displaying. For this customer, what is the average amount, that also I want to display, and what is the total number of the average amount or some amount, what is the summation of that particular customer, how much we have sold, and what all are, how many sales order we have created for this particular customer. I want to display this detail also along with the sales order and customer info. How I can do? Either I have to write the separate query and get all the data, then do the summation kind of thing, and then everything we have to do at the application server level, and then I have to do then I have to display finally. But we are working on ABAP on HANA. So in HANA, we have to do all the calculation at the application, at the database level, and we have to get the data as much as possible less number of lines from the database to the application server. So if you are getting these many lines and even the line numbers are same, we are doing all the calculation over here, then what is the use of the HANA using the database as a HANA database? So we have to do this calculation and all the things at the database level itself, and then I have to get the result. So how we can do? That is the reason SAP came up with the new thing, our clause. For using our clause, I don't need now this group by statement. Let me remove this group by statement, and obviously I will get the error. Now I'm doing summation, so it expect me to add the group by, but we have something called our clause here. So what we can do, we can write the our clause like this. Then what is this over clause here, and what what will be the impact of if we write the our clause here? So if you see our clause, what it will do, it define the partitioning and ordering of the rows where window function can be performed. There is different thing. First I will tell you what is the window function. So this is called the window function. Okay, let me remove this syntax error first. Okay, so this is called window function. This is called window function. All the aggregation functions are window function. Apart from this aggregated function, there are some other functions also there. These are all are the functions are the window functions. So we can perform this over clause after the window window function. So in this over clause, so as you know, the window function is the aggregate function or some other function where we have to perform something. So on which data it will be performed, that will be identified by this over clause. Suppose we have this, we executed this query. As you can see, we got 1000 line item from here. But out of 1000 line item, for that particular customer, how many data is there? So I want to count that thing and I want to do summation on that thing. So what I want to do, basically, I want to divide this data. Whatever the result I got, I want to divide this data, and on divided data, I want to do some calculation. So I want to do summation for that particular customer. Customer wise, I want to divide the data of the final result, and I want to do this window function I want to apply on that particular set of data. This particular set of data we call the window. So where we are applying in particular set of data means we are dividing the data by customer wise. We are creating the different window for per customer, and we have in this window for particular customer data, and I want to apply this window function on that particular window. So for creating those windows, we use our clause. Our clause, again, these are the lot of terminologies I am using. Window is nothing the set of data, subset of data of that particular result based on some criteria. Here I didn't define any criteria as of now in this particular over clause. So what it will consider? It will consider entire result set as a one window. So that I didn't define anything inside this one, means it will assume that we don't have any criteria as of now. There is whatever the result is getting, that is a one window, and we have to perform on that window we have to perform this window function. Like that it will work. Let me show you what result I will get. Let me do apart from this thing, I can display net price also parallelly is net amount. AMT, and this will become not net amount, net amount underscore for per customer. What is the net amount per customer? And count. So this will become sales order count per customer. For that customer, what is the sales order count? Let me do Control F3. Let me clear out the console. Let me do F9. So you can see, let me enlarge a bit. So we got the net amount for this particular, I got this sales order, I got this customer ID, I got this everything. But for this customer, how many number of sales order we have in the system? That we are seeing here, 1055 sales order is there. And what is the total amount of that sales order? We are, no. Sorry, because we didn't define still window. So it is the total number of the sales order in this particular in our database, because I didn't define any where condition total number of entries in VBAK table 1555, because it got total. Now we have one window entire result. How many data in this particular result? IT result 1055. I can show you that also. So let me do one thing, Control Z, lines of this, if I count the lines, LV underscore count, sorry, Control Z, data, let me do inline declaration, hurry, LV underscore count equal to lines of, I want to count of lines of this particular result. Control V, and I want to display this also. Control Alt arrow down button. Instead of display, I want to do write statement, and the Control C, this count I want to display. Control C, Control V, WRITE, Control F3, and clear the console. Let me do F9. So you can see 1055 total line we are getting. So we have one window. Till now we didn't define any window. So it is considering the entire result is a one window, and it is calculating the amount, total amount for that particular window. How many sales order for this particular window is 1055. So this kind of also requirement can come. We want to display the total amount, whatever the result we are getting from the database. That also we can use our function, simple our function. I didn't do anything. Now we will go one step ahead. Inside the our clause, we can partition the data. Now my requirement is I partition this data by customer, and I create the different windows, or for that particular customer, what is the amount and what number of the sales order I want to display in the output. So simple statement is there. If you write P partition by tab, I want to partition by the data kunna. Same I goes with here as well. I want to do partition by, I want to do by kunnar. That's it. Instead of considering the entire result as a one window, I want to divide that result into the partition, or that is called windows, and then I want to do the summation. Let me do Control F3 and clear out the console. Let me do F9. So you can see I don't need this one because I don't want to count now, but you can see for this customer how many sales order count and what is the net amount. 165 sales order, and what is the total of those sales order I can see. If I will see some other sales order for other customer, you can see this is the another customer which is having 159 number of sales order, and what is the total amount for those sales order I can see over here. Let me come down. Let me see less amount, 15 for this sales order, the 15 number of sales order, and what is the total amount. So let me, instead of displaying each and everything, we are not able to visualize the thing. What I will do, I will put one where condition. Before into, I will put where condition, where kunnar in, and first I will pass this customer and comma, two customer I will pass which is having less number of sales order. One is having 15, somebody one is another sales order I already remember. Let me put Control V instead of 1, 111. Let me do Control F3. I don't want to, this we did on all the data, I just want to see so we can easily visualize the thing. F9. So you can see we have the 111 sales order. How many sales order here? 16. You can count this sales order, it is 16. And for one number one sales order, how many sales order? 111. What is the total amount? 1000, 150, 100, 150, 100, and you will count. This will be 1600. So for this particular customer, 15 number of sales order and total amount is the 1600 that I can display. This is the one use of partition by. Now I divided the data in the window. If I want to do inside the window itself, if I want to sort based on some criteria, so I have created window based on this customer. I want to sort data by net price. I can use net order by over here. Let me write down here so we can easily visualize the things. So let me do this thing and let me do this over here. So partition by, and next is order by. Order by I want to do net price. Inside this also I want to do the order by itself, and this time net. So there is no use of doing the based on the customer because we are getting in one window one customer only, or you can use kunnar and net this net amount as well. Control C, same thing I will do for this also. Let me write down in different lines so we can do different switch between different thing and we can do easily. Control V, Shift F1. So what is the use of order by? Is just the sort. There is two things. One, it will sort it out, and second thing I will show you. Control F3. Clear out. I will not clear out this one. Let me do F9. I will display just below this one. Control F3. Let me do F9. So you can see, we can see the result. But this time something different. This time something is different over here. You can see the result, how we got the result. Since we specified the order by in the net price, let me clear out the console and show you again. It's confusing. F9. So you can see the result is like this. Somewhat result, what we desired, we didn't get that result. So we got like this. If you consider this one sales order, I'm getting the 9. But for this customer, total number is not 9. It is 12. It should be 15, not 9. Total number of sales order, how many? 15. So what it is doing internally, it is, since we specify the order by net price, net wear, so it is inside this window itself again segregating, again making small group based on the net price. And for those, if 0 is net price, for this 0 net price, how many sales order is there, that they are displaying. And for this one, again this 0, for 300 only 3 only. One more thing I want to explain along with this thing. So it is not displaying the 0 wise. So by default, how it is working, there is one additional thing over here. We can say, we can specify this inside this window. I want to divide data in subpart further. So there is something called segregation of data. So Control C. So by default, it is taking this one, rows between unbound preceding and current row. So this is a bit confusing. Let me just first write it down, then we will see what we can do. Control C. For getting desired result, first I'm putting along with the order by. Just as of now, just skip this part. Just I will explain what it is. Control F3. Let me clear out the console. Let me do F9. It got activated. F9. So now I got desired result, I think so. You can see I got the 15 desired result. So what I did, I sorted by the amount, and I written something, rows between unbound preceding and the unbound following. Let me delete this one, Y2. We have the space. System is slow bit, I think, or something wrong. Yeah, so what it's stuck. So meanwhile I can explain. So rows between unbound preceding and unbound following. So unbound preceding means the first row of that particular window, and unbound following means the last row of that particular window. That is called unbound preceding and unbound following. Okay, so if something right, so in this case what the group is, this is dividing further data, means once we got the window, inside this window we want to inside this window itself I want to get some subset of data, and I want to apply only the on that subset of data I want to apply this summation, and I want to display like this. So in this case what it happen, so if I by default, if I don't define this one, by default it is this one, rows between. Let me do again, Control V, and do here as well, Control V, and remove this one. Yeah, let me do Control Shift less than. So you understood, I hope you understood what is the row between unbound preceding and unbound following. Unbound preceding means first row of that particular window, and unbound following means last row of that particular window. Let me do Control Shift less than. If I didn't specify this one, by default the value is that after order by, if I don't define this particular restriction, then by default it will take row between unbound preceding and current row. What is means? Unbound preceding means first row of that particular window, and what is the current row where I am calculating. So based on that it will get the result. If I don't define also, I will show you what will be the result. Let me do F9. It's a window expression is new for us, so please make sure I'm trying to explain as much as possible. So what is this? Okay, so in this case you can see, okay, so as soon as I used unbound between unbound preceding and current row, so what it is happening, first it is 1. For next row, how it is calculating? 1 plus 1, it is calculated by 2, and next row how it is calculated? 1 plus 1 plus 3, like that it is calculating 9 rows and doing the 9 rows calculation. Same goes here, when it reaches to this line, it will add this 9 line plus 10, this one 100, and 11 it will add all the lines, 100 also it will be added, and this 100 also will be added, the addition will be 200. So this will work like this. So it will start from the first row of that particular group, and it will till the current row it will take, and it will add up the data or do the summation. So that is the impact of the rows between unbound preceding and current row. And what was the when I used the order by net price, what happened? So since we are using grouping the data by ordering the data by net price, so that was considered, that created the frame. Order by not only it will sort the data by net price, but also it will, what it will do, it will create the frame as well. So let me go one step back and explain order by again. Let me do Control Shift less than. Let me do Control F3. This video will be long, sorry guys. So let me do again F9. So you can see, so in this what happened, order by net price, I am doing the order by net price, but this is 9 it is displaying. This is not desired for me, because I want to do the net price by, I want to do order by, but it should be total amount should be, it will be 15, but it is not happening because it created a frame. Because we specified the net price in the order by clause, it created one frame based on this net price, and based on that it is creating inside this window, it is creating the small group, and based on that it is again, after creating group, it is applying that this thing, what we can say, unbound preceding to the current row. So like that, if you see here, this is become one group, another group it went, but it considered this group data along with this data. So that is the reason that we are not getting the desired result. So for getting the desired result, what I have to do along with this, I have to do this also, Control Shift greater than. I have to enforce like this. I want to get the rows between unbound preceding to unbound following. I want to sort the data by net price, but what I want to do, I want to starting from this first line until last line, then I want to count, and then I want to sort also this data, net price data, then in that case it will not create the net price, what we can say, frame in SAP term. It will not create internal frames and do the calculation based on that. Let me do Control F3 and let me show you this F9, this result in F9. So I got the 16 and 15, the total amount is 15, and net price, or inside this particular group, the data also it is sorted, and we got the desired result. So these are the two things, and we have one more thing in this particular to arrange the rows within the window. One more thing, last thing, instead of writing the last thing, once again, Control C. Control V, Control Shift less than, and this also will go like this, delete, Control V, and this Control Shift less than. So instead of considering entire row, I want to consider current row minus 1 plus current row plus 1. Then I want to calculate that amount and how many cells order. This is again based on the requirement, but I just want to show you how it will impact, what all are the things we can use. Instead of 1, I can use 2 also. Let me show you the result, then we can visualize quickly. Control F3, Let me do F9. So what it will do, so as you can see, this is the group I am taking, one customer number one sales order. So what it come down here, so for first sales order, it will take current line, previous line and next line and count the sales order. So in this case there is no previous line, so it is taking the 2, but for this line there is previous line also and following line also, that is the reason it is taking 3. So if you visualize the amount, if you want to, for this amount you can say, for this line, what is the previous line amount? 100. What is the preceding line amount? 100. Total amount 300. So it is displaying 300, and or number of order also it is displaying 3. So it is considering previous line and next line, one line, and at last line you can see it same goes there, since there is no next line, so that is like consider only last two line, previous line only, there is no line, and it is adding the line and it is displaying as a count as a true. Same goes with this particular customer as well, both the customer is similar. So that is the use of rows between one preceding and one following. Same we can do, not only one, we can write 2, 3. If you write 2 and 2, it will impact accordingly in the output. It will consider the previous 2 line and next 2 line, and it will display the result. Let me show you quickly. Control F3, clear out the console. Let me do F9. So you can see, so it considered 2, there is no 2 previous line, that is the reason. The current row plus 2 previous and 2 preceding, that is the reason 3, here 4, and for other 5 and 4. Same way it is doing the addition, and same thing is happening. So I think I have explained window expression almost the things. Let me see something I missed. Order close, order by, partition by, rows and range close. So you can see this is called rows and range close. We can define within the window, we can further split the things and then we can do the calculation. So that is the use of rows and range. And for using this thing, order by is mandatory. So for using this rows and range close, we have to use order by. Without order by, if I try to use, it will give me syntax error. Control Shift LS, then I will do, this will say it is not allowed here. Without order by, I can't use rows and window, this what we call rows and range close. This range close I can't use. Control Shift greater than. This is one important thing. This video was requested by one of the viewers. So I created the video on the window expression. I hope you got all the points and you were able to understand this window expression correctly. Before going to next video, as you always told, please like this video, subscribe this channel, or whatever you are feeling about this video or some other videos which you are watching on my channel, write down something on comment, so based on that I can improve myself, or you can give your feedback in the comment section. Thank you and happy learning.